Doug, real quick, now that we hear rumors, about Tank going on a free agent, do you think it's going to be easy to make that fight with Ryan?
I mean, yeah, if he's a free agent, it's easier to make, but I don't know. I'll believe he's split from Floyd Mayweather when he's actually split from Floyd Mayweather. I know they're beefing, but that's common. I mean, star fighters and their promoters, particularly if their promoters used to be star fighters themselves, oftentimes their egos clash. It just happens. It's kind of part of the game. We've seen this before with Davis, between Davis and Mayweather, and they've remained together, and I think Mayweather Promotions has done a good job with them. I mean, what I like they've done with him is obviously he was a draw in his native Baltimore area, but they've taken him all around. They've taken him to Atlanta. They've taken him to Southern California, greater LA area. Obviously, he's fought in Vegas before. They took him over to the UK. His next fight against Rolly is going to be in New York City or Brooklyn, whatever, New York City area. That's good. Like they're making him a name in multiple markets, and they have something there. There's something about Tank that goes beyond his fighting prowess. Like he resonates with people. He's got charisma, just like Ryan. Ryan's got we just saw it with Ryan. Ryan's got charisma. He kind of gets it. He understands the showbiz aspect of professional boxing, and Davis kind of does too, without trying. It's not like Davis is out there kind of putting himself out there or whatever, but he just has it. There's a magnetism with him. So it's worked out fine so far. And if he's totally unhappy, and I don't know, and he hasn't really come out and said that. He's kind of like tweeted stuff and kind of just dropped hints that maybe he's unhappy about things are here, but until he actually splits, I won't really pontificate on what kind of fights can be made. But obviously, if a fighter is a free agent, and Canelo Alvarez has shown that, it opens the door to other matchups, outside of a certain platform or a certain promoter allegiance.
How do you see him doing against Rolly?
I think he's in another class. I don't consider Rolly a legitimate top 10 lightweight, but he's big. I mean, he kind of reminds me of Ryan, where he's clearly like a junior welterweight because he's young. He can make 135, and I know Tank doesn't make 135 easy either. He's a thick little dude, but Rolly looks big. Rolly looks like he can carry 147 pounds. I know he can punch, and he's awkward. He's not an orthodox boxer. So sometimes an unorthodox style can throw off an orthodox style. But I think one thing I think it's underrated about Tank Davis is his boxing acumen, his ring IQ. You take away the power, he's still a good boxer. He sets his power up. He's not just out there. He's not wild or whatever. So I think that kind of fighter can make adjustments. So if he has some trouble with Rolly's style early, I think he'll make the necessary adjustments and gradually break down his opponent like he's done all of his opponents. Maybe with the exception of Isaac Cruz, who went the distance.
Correct.
But Isaac Cruz was considered a legitimate lightweight contender, a legitimate top 10 contender.
Put that pressure on.
Yeah.
Right. Now back to Ryan. Is that something that's marinated, Ryan and
Sure.
Tank?
I mean, it doesn't have to marinate. They both have dedicated fan bases. Tank has he's attracted huge crowds in Atlanta, in Baltimore, in Los Angeles. He's going to do so at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. He's already got his fans, and Ryan Garcia has his fans. Right. And he sells tickets too. Ryan is not just an Instagram star. It's not just 8.7 million on Instagram. I've been present at Ryan Garcia fights in Las Vegas, in New York City, and other places, and y'all fans turn up. Right. So when you have when fighters have dedicated fan bases and they come together, it's automatically. It's like they don't have to sit here and promote it for 2 years or whatever. You know, when Triple G fought Canelo,
I think it'll sell out
their
maybe
fans
within
turned
24
up,
hours.
Right. When Oscar De La Hoya fought Fernando Vargas, their fans turned up.
Right.
You know, and they combined and they made for a huge event.
Correct.
So I don't think they need to marinate. If you marinate Garcia, Davis, they're not going to be lightweights. They're going to be 140 pounders or whatever, and that's fine. It's still an awesome fight. But right now it seems like their best weight is lightweight. So you want to see it at lightweight.
Now, real quick, last question, the big question of the year. When will we see Ryan against Tank? You think late this year, early next year?
If we're lucky, late this year. If we're lucky, I would bet against it. Although with George Kambosos defending the unified crown against Devin Haney, and I understand there's a rematch clause there. Right. All those belts are going to be tied up, right? And then, my guess is the winner of that fight, if Kambosos comes out on top, he already had a fight scheduled with Vasily Lomachenko. He might want to do that. You're like, okay, Lomachenko, you stepped aside for noble reasons, dealing with the crisis in Ukraine. My guess is he'll get first crack. You know what I mean? Or if Devin Haney comes out on top, he's worked out a deal with Top Rank, right? And Vasily Lomachenko is a Top Rank player. So it seems like they've got their own little round robin right now. Kambosos, Haney, Lomachenko. So it seems like Ryan and Davis, who are the biggest stars, they're kind of outside of the championship equation. So they maybe being on the outside, it's like, well, we might as well make our own event.
Right.
And in their minds, they might feel like, hey, we're bigger than any belts anyways. Like we're bigger than championships. This is an attraction. Right. These are two superstars going at it.
I think they can do event sold out within 24 hours.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
With their track record and their followings, absolutely.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
All right.
Yes, sir. Thank you.